All, this is Dr. Mobeen Sayed from Drbeen.com. This is my third talk for today, but I thought this was worth it. I had been going over various doctors' prescriptions or their thinking about ivermectin. So what I had done was, I told you that I was not feeling that great today. I was under the weather. So I spoke with a doctor and he prescribed me ivermectin. My original insurance does not, and the doctors do not believe in it. So this was outside of that. So anyways, got the ivermectin. They sent in the prescription to CVS. CVS called me back and they said that this is a very expensive medicine. We do not have enough medication either. It is a 3 milligram tablet, and to get 12 milligram that is needed for me for one full dose, that means there are 4 tablets. So imagine if I have to take them for 5, 6, 7 days or prophylactically for a couple of months, then there are lots of tablets. So I was given 3 months of prescription. So they said it is quite expensive, so we are putting it on hold. Please call us back and tell us if you really want it. So I called them back and I said, yeah, I'm fine. I'm buying it. And they said it is going to be somewhere about $220. So 48 tablets for $220-ish. So about $5 per 3 milligram. So when I went in there, they said, why don't you use GoodRx? So I went to GoodRx and I said, I need ivermectin, and the coupon came up and the price became, I think, $26. So I have the receipt here. So this is $26.51. I think that includes the taxes as well. And so what they did was they gave me ivermectin. So here are the ivermectin. So these are 3 milligram tablets. I do not know where it focuses well. So 3 milligram tablets. And for me, the dose is about 12 milligram, one full dose. So I have those over here. With this, they said to me, they said, look, take 4 tablets of 12 milligram at one time. Take it on empty stomach, which I did not want to contradict them and say, no, it should be taken for COVID prophylaxis. It should be taken with food. Anyways, they said, take it with empty stomach, on empty stomach. And they said, take it with plenty of water. With that, they said, if you develop rash or nausea or GIT symptoms, then talk with your doctor and figure out if you need to change it. So this was the discussion that happened. So I thought I would discuss it with you, that if you are DDS is listening in bed. Sorry, DDS, I came back once more. So I have these tablets. This is one. I'm just going to show you. This is one 3 milligram tablet. So I'm going to take 4 of them. And so this is what I feel is the momentum now, that we can now find ivermectin. Remember, NIH was against it at one time. And so here I am with 4 of these. I don't know if you can see them. So I'm going to take them with plenty of water. And they said, if you have rash or nausea or GIT issues, talk with your doctor. And I was kind of a little proud that I have been actually part of this movement to help us get to a point where we can get these medicines. And there are more and more doctors now that they are offering it. So I just wanted to share with you that GoodRx, if you go to GoodRx and if you say ivermectin for 48 tablets, that is 3 months prophylactic supply. According to my prophylaxis, that is weekly, 1 full dose. that is only $26. But if you do not use that, then it's $220. And I was just reading a Cool Beans comment here, Rico USA's comment. He said, the last 10 years for I have used internationaldrugmart.com for the last 10 years for difficult to find medications. I purchased 106 milligram ivermectin for approximately $300 US. So that is about $3 per 6 milligram. It took 3 weeks to receive the tablets. You can use their doctors. Importantly, for those in the US, there are some shortages of generic form. Then he continues on and he says, this is a comment on YouTube, so you can read it as well. Then he says that he then looked up the GoodRx, and with GoodRx, the price is 3 milligram tablets, 3 milligram tablets at CVS for $1.17. So lesser than $1. And $77 at my local Walmart on GoodRx. So Walgreens was $35. So Walmart $77, Walgreens $35, and CVS $17. So he said, definitely going to use this app from now on. So the point I was making was that please make sure that when you are going for ivermectin, and if your insurance is not there, or you are not covered, or your insurance has refused, then use GoodRx and you can still use it. It is a decent price. $26 for 48 tablets is a very reasonable price. And if I look at the doctor's fee, for example, we talked about Dr. Antonato's today, said his fee is usually $55. So I think to save your life, to protect yourself, it is not a very costly thing. So here we are. I just thought that I would share the experience with you and discuss that GoodRx is the important part, unless your insurance decides to cover it. So I hope that is the discussion. I hope you're all fine. And those who have this evening, they are in the bed, as I just heard someone who was, DDS. And those whose morning it is, they are moving on for their morning activities. Eduardo says, in Mexico, you can get 4 6 milligram tablets for $5. So 4 is 8 3 milligram, which, yeah, so similar price here as well. Flower says, is there a difference between the ivermectin in animal medicine against parasite and this form, because those are even cheaper? The thing that I had said was before, and I'll say it again, we do not know the animal ivermectin's formulation. Molecule has to be the same, but the other things that are part of that molecule, we do not know what is their reaction to humans. They're not tested on humans. So they could cause reactions, or they could cause side effects that we do not anticipate. So because of that, it's not recommended. So that's my position. So Ankur Verma said, are you taking other anti-inflammatory as well? Yes. So Ankur, vitamin D, I take 20,000. Again, these are not a prescription for anyone. This is just what I do. Vitamin D, I take 20,000 units daily, international units, with K2, calcium, magnesium, copper, and selenium. With that, I take curcumin, or what is the other name? I forgot the curcumin. I take CoQ10, quercetin, zinc, then the fish oil, omega-3, and I take black seed oil daily, 1 teaspoon. And honey I take sometimes, and sometimes I don't. So this is my usual combo that I take. A few weeks ago, I had skipped vitamin D a few times. I just thought 20,000 daily may have been more. But for a few days, I've been taking it again, thinking that there are more variants, thinking there is more spread. I was actually seeing people being less careful as well. So I just kind of upped it. So that is the, that's what I'm doing. Yes, TCS is turmeric. Yes, turmeric. Flower says, okay, we ought to know because that could be a huge solution for poor people. Agreed, but I have no idea. So Flower says, Andrea says, my doctor prescribed nitazoxanide, a different antiparasitic instead of as he prefers it to ivermectin. I don't understand why. So did he prescribe that for COVID, Andrea? Flower says, I take many of the same medicines. Very good, thank you. So we are the birds of the same feather flocking together, right? So we are the cool beans taking similar things. Doug Gross says, I take horse ivermectin. Really, Doug? So Susan, I got it with prescription. And that is what today, this is the third discussion for today. If you look at the first discussion that I did today, in there, I had discussed those doctors who are working with their patients for prophylaxis or active disease or for long hauling. So somebody said yes for, so Andrea said yes for COVID. Andrea, that sounds nitazoxanide for, I usually try to feel that maybe I am missing something for COVID. So there is a study here that is saying nitazoxanide was safe, significantly reduced viral load, and increased the proportion of patients testing negative for SARS-CoV-2 after 5 days of therapy compared to placebo. Nitazoxanide did not prevent hospitalization or efficacy or affect any change in complete blood count, CRP levels, or serum biomarkers of inflammation. So it did not affect the severity of the disease, but it did reduce the viral load. That is strange. So there is a study here. The title of the study, it is in European Respiratory Journal. The title is Early Use of Nitazoxanide in Mild COVID-19 Disease, Randomized Placebo-Controlled Trial. So they are showing good results. What is the... So the percent viral load reduction from onset to end of therapy was higher with nitazoxanide, and that is 55% versus placebo, which is 45%. So it is good that it is useful, and p-value is great. It is, I believe, 0.006. So that is good. But that effect, Andrea, is not comparable to ivermectin's effect. But still, it still is helpful. Let me do that. So Loretta is saying, can you share your screen? So let me do this. Share my screen. So here, so if you can see this, and apologies, I did not switch my mouse. Let me do it right now. I just thought I'll quickly get on and share with you that GoodRx is important. So here is the study, early use of nitazoxanide in mild COVID-19 disease. And here are the if you see here, at the 5-day study visit, symptoms resolution did not differ between the nitazoxanide and placebo. Swabs collected were negative for SARS-CoV-2 in 29.9% of the patients in nitazoxanide arm versus 18.2% in the placebo arm. P is 0.009, which is significant. Viral load was also reduced after nitazoxanide compared to placebo. P is 0.006. Significant. The percent viral load reduction from onset to end of therapy was higher with nitazoxanide 55%, then placebo 45%. So that is reduction. So 10% more reduction, and the P is also significant in this case as well. P is 0.013. So it seems better, but it's not something that is as good as ivermectin can be. Margaret says, I'm relieved that you've taken it. Thank you very much, Margaret. L says, so L, honestly, I felt a little embarrassed as well to share it, that thinking that not everyone has it, and it looks not the best to come in and show it. But at the same time, I was worried today. I have congestion and I had slight fever as well. And there is no reason for me to develop those, number one. And number two, it was interesting that my own doctors and those folks had not agreed. And then I had to go outside. And then it was also interesting that with GoodRx, something that was for $220 was available for $26. So I thought that would be an interesting thing for folks to know, because we just talked about doctors today. Oh, wow. Andrea, thank you very much. Trevor says, are you getting a COVID test? Let's see. I'm going to observe myself for a few days to see how my symptoms are. And then Flower says, Dr. Bean, I left a silly sounding message in the comments about making all the prophylaxis we know into a bean for convenience. I hope you read it. I will. Actually, there have been a couple of cool beans who had reached out to say, why don't you give us the complete prophylaxis structure, and we would put that together in one pill, and we can then, put it up for sale. So Taylor, no. So what happened was the doctor call was separate. So of course, my own doctors, the concern, hey, if you get the oxygen issue or breathlessness, then please come in the hospital. Otherwise, take Tylenol and good luck. Then I called, of course, I feel this for every cool bean, that we should do everything to try to protect ourselves. So I reached out to some folks outside, and I said that, hey, this is what's happening, and I believe in ivermectin. And they said, yeah, we believe in ivermectin as well. So that was the prescription part. When they sent the prescription to CVS then called in and said, well, it is a very expensive drug, and we do not know if you really want to buy it without insurance, or do you want us to shift it to your insurance? And I said, my insurance is not going to pay it. That's already done. So they said, come on in if you want to pay this $220, whatever. And I went in, and they then said, why don't you try GoodRx? And I said, yeah, sure. So I tried GoodRx. So right over there, they asked me on my phone to go to GoodRx. And then here, I went to GoodRx. I'll do that right now with you. So I went to GoodRx. And then in this search box, you type ivermectin. Ivermectin. And then, so do you see this? It comes back and it says CVS Pharmacy, $17, Walgreens, $35, Rite Aid, $42, Target, $17. So then you click on the CVS Pharmacy or whichever you like. And then here, the tablets are 20. So what you do is you go down somewhere, if I remember. So somewhere over here, you change the number of tablets, and that would change the price. So just like it is 20 over here, when I changed the number of tablets, it became 26. And they said, give us this number from this GoodRx, and they used it, and the price went from $223 to $26. So Taylor, that was the process. Lying guy says, were you getting nervous? I was actually trying to ask myself that, am I nervous about it? And I thought I was not. So This is the right comment. Clint is saying this is a sad state of the healthcare. I was going to the CVS and I was thinking, what a weird state of healthcare in the US, that the doctors who have to give the medicine have to kind of hunker down. Patients who need this medicine have to hunker down. Patients have to do their own research. They have to listen from doctors like me on internet to understand how to protect themselves. Then they have to be fearful if the pharmacist is going to refuse it. And all the meantime, we are dying in mass numbers. More than 500,000 people dead. More than what now? How many? 20, 25 million people in the US sick. 30% of them becoming COVID long haulers. This is terrible. Yes, we can do it in a bean. Navinath says, good evening, doc. Do you think that cholinergic anti-inflammatory system has got a role in the suppression of cytokine storm? Is there any repurposed drug currently working under this mechanism? So I feel there is not cytokine storm related issues, but I think for long haulers, there may be some autonomic nervous system dysregulation as well. So I'm going to actually discuss that tomorrow. But for cytokine storm, it has to be the immune system itself. Cholinergic outflow increase can be a side effect of the cytokine storm. For example, when the blood pressure maintenance has to occur and when the heart rate maintenance has to occur. So those can be the side effect, and we may have cholinergic modulation that is going on, but it is mostly the immune system. Thank you very much. Slightly Slanted Sleuth says, good name. My wife runs a nursing home and says that deaths are double reported. What's your opinion on that? I do not know. What does it mean? That she's saying that if one person died, they say two are dead? Yes, absolutely. So I'm going to go take a rest, but I wanted to make sure that I discussed with the cool beans here that please, the best is that your own doctor, your insurance works with you. If for some reason they don't, or if you don't have insurance, then see that GoodRx works with you, and there are cheaper ways to get the medicine. And at the end of the day, then if there is someone who feels that they need the doctor's appointment or medicine and they feel they do not have that, please reach out to me separately and we'll figure something out. So with this, thank you very much. And I would see you tomorrow. Good night.